Welcome to Not Advised, the fantasy football podcast not based on research. So if you lose, don't blame us. But if you win, we're definitely taking credit. Welcome back, guys. It's Matt, and I'm happy to not be an idiot this week.
Hey guys, I'm CJ. I think Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in his draft class.
What's up, guys? I'm JD, and I'm kind of bummed we're at the Super Bowl.
And I still hate the Patriots.
Well, unfortunately, Raymond, for you, you have to see them one more time because no matter how many guarantees you give us, they keep winning.
Hey, that's all right. I like to see them losing the Super Bowl. It hurts worse.
Yeah, okay, maybe. I don't know. I think it would have hurt worse to lose to a backup quarterback. But overall, it's funny for me because I still don't understand where your guarantees are coming from every time you talk about them. And I really hope you don't give us another Raymond guarantee this week because I really don't want the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. And I feel like you're just helping them along at this point. But let's go ahead and jump into it. We can start with that game, actually. Let's talk about the Patriots a little bit. For the AFC Championship game, we had the Patriots versus the Broncos. Ended up being a Snoozefest. 10-7 because the Mile High Stadium turned into a freezer and snow was falling in the second half. What did you guys think about this game?
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah,
That's probably about all I have to say about it.
Outside of the looks, I thought the game went as scripted. Right, there's no Bo Nix. I mean, there's not much the Broncos could do. And then it snowed, and I guess nobody was prepared for it, even though if it would have been in New England, there was like a foot of snow. So
yeah, I saw
12.
one of the
12 inches. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking 12 feet.
that would be nuts.
that would have been crazy.
They canceled the game. Yeah.
But they did do like a little pan over to Gillette Stadium whenever they were in the middle of the game. I think it was at halftime or something like that, and it looked nuts in Gillette Stadium.
Well,
That was prior to the snow in Denver. So, and then they jinxed it, and then come out the second half, and it's a snow fest.
It was basically a one-half game, which is stupid. Like, whoever had the lead at halftime basically won the game. I mean, I know it was tied, but like a couple minutes into the third quarter, Patriots kicked the field goal, and that was all she wrote.
I will say, it's going to be interesting moving forward. Are teams going to start taking points, or are they still being super analytical and going for it? Because had Denver kicked the field goal instead of throwing the interception there on fourth down, who knows?
I think it's all game by game because in that game, like they should have obviously took the points. But then you look at the national championship when Miami opted to kick the field goal, and they should have went for it in that case.
Right.
So I think just teams are going to keep being analytical driven.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams are actually pretty good at taking the analytics as their base, and then depending on the head coach or the main decision maker in that particular situation, probably ends up turning it to like a gut / analytics. Because I feel like if your analytics are like, okay, 80% of the time says we should do this, like they're probably going to go heavy analytics. But then if it's like 50-50, they're probably just going to go with the gut feeling. And I just feel like, I mean, in that, like, I wouldn't say, yeah, let's go ahead and take the points because the Super Bowl is being played in LA. You're not going to have any crazy elements that would force you to say, let's take the points. But when you're in the snow, then it's like, hey, maybe you should actually take the points, not knowing what the weather is going to be like.
When they made that decision, had it started snowing yet, or
No.
I thought that was in the first half.
Did they know snow was coming?
Allegedly not. Or
I feel
maybe
like they should have.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely should have known.
I also think has nothing to do with the game, but as a little fun fact here, that if you didn't know, Matt, Jarrett Stidham went to Auburn. Do you know who was his replacement when he left?
At Auburn?
Yep.
No
Bo
idea.
Nix.
Oh, nice.
So it's fitting he takes over for Bo Nix and still sucks.
Instead,
Yeah, he still sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and do it now since the Broncos didn't win. I will give a little bit of credit to Bo Nix. Maybe they can't just put any quarterback in Sean Payton's offense and be good.
I think there at the end, Stiddy wanted, like, trying to be a little too aggressive. He wanted to go deep, like a couple plays in a row, and I think that ultimately like got in his head.
Yeah, it was mainly. I think it was just the one bad play that he made that ended up having the Patriots automatically be in the red zone and get their touchdown. I think that was truly the only issue.
Other than that, they probably wouldn't have scored a touchdown.
Well, I mean, yeah, that first quarter, right? We thought Stid was going to be the MVP. You know, he came out, they put 7 on the board, didn't look like New England was getting going, and then that's all he did.
I will say, CJ, you probably agree with this. Cortland Sutton kind of dropped a couple passes on him too. I mean, they're behind him, but they're catchable. I know you're a Cortland Sutton hater.
Yeah, you're right. I am. For that reason, I feel like occasionally in his career, he just has an off game. And usually it's when he's needed to deliver the most.
Yeah. He kind of
Like
let him
in
down at
the
the first half.
AFC Championship.
That would be a good game to show up for.
Definitely.
So do
Instead, you
y'all
had little Jordan Humphreys making wild catches when they need
I
him.
remember when he was on the Saints and I wanted him to be so good. So do y'all think that this was I mean, it was to me, so I can only imagine you're going to agree. Do you think this was a boring game to watch?
I do, personally.
It was boring, but it wasn't at the same time because like it was such a close game. Like with the snow, it was kind of had you on edge. At least for me, because I was rooting for the Broncos. If you're rooting for the Patriots, I'm sure like it might not have been as exciting.
Yeah, I don't feel like throughout the game I was ever worried about Denver like overtaking the game. It
Neither
was
New
more of
England.
just like it's just you knew it was going to be a game where it's like, hey, the best defense is probably going to win.
I mean, New England, they threw it away on 3rd down on purpose just to get off the field.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the most surprising thing to me in this game, especially once the snow started happening, was that Ramondre Stevenson didn't fumble.
Brother, I was waiting on that all game.
The whole game, I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, me too. Every time he touched it, especially it was like late in the 3rd, early 4th, you could barely see the Patriots white jerseys. I just knew Romo was going to go nuts and yell fumble. I was waiting on it, and it surprisingly never happened.
Well, see, when they wore their white jerseys, I was like, oh, they definitely knew snow was coming, right?
Yeah.
That's what went through my mind when
the Patriots staff definitely knew and prepared for the snow.
Hey, Raymond says it best. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And man, I couldn't see him at all. Every time they tried to pull up the far away camera, it was impossible to see them. But every time they got like close up to the huddle, I could see them clear as day.
Yeah, it was like a cheat code while they were on defense, but on offense, I think it hurt them. That's why they just kept throwing the ball away.
Yeah,
I think so
they
too.
couldn't see. No,
I think so too.
I think it's easy to say now looking back though, but my coach of the year favorite has got to be Vrabel, right? Like the way they turned around in New England. I mean, the way he's coaching. The little thing that got to me was the afterwards of what the players had said about him. Like they love playing for that guy. And then he's paying so close attention in the game. I think it was right before half. Drake May slides. He scrambles and slides. And then Vrabel's right there to call a timeout. Like
it was incredible.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. That little thing was like, I hope he wins Coach of the Year.
See,
I could understand McDonald.
Yeah, I give it to McDonald. Like his team is too dominant.
Yeah, we'll talk about that game in a minute, but Vrabel's got my vote.
Where was Vrabel before this?
Tennessee. Well,
that's
on
right.
the couch.
Technically in Cleveland, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
he was like
technically he was some kind of linebacker.
That's the worst thing. That's all the Titans did was fire Vrabel and go hire somebody that they hope could be Vrabel.
I know, that was so stupid.
And then it didn't work out, and now they have.
Well, no, I'm talking about Saleh. Like, because he's like the same kind of coach. Like,
yeah, literally.
Like manly men, defensive oriented, and
the players seem to like him.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, terrible franchise changing of the franchise. I mean, it ruined Tennessee it set him back for I'd say years on years.
Yeah,
letting him go.
We'll get into Tennessee a little bit in just a few minutes after we cover the other game that happened, which was the Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks took this one 31-27. It was an incredible game all in all. Stafford was putting up MVP numbers, unfortunately still lost. What do we think about this game?
I think Seattle's underrated. They're tough.
They're the real deal.
Yeah, they're great on all 3 phases of the team.
Dude,
Vikings are punching there. Sam Darnold's been the best, maybe not like literally the best quarterback the last 2 years, but
top
he's
5.
been he's been the best quarterback the last 2 years. Their defense is tough. I mean, their defense, it will bend but not break. And then special teams. They clearly capitalize when it matters the most.
What's crazy is like, I think if Sam Darnold was in Minnesota, this could be the Vikings right now.
I agree with that.
The Vikings defense is insane, and they've got all the playmakers. Like,
they're just missing the quarterback.
Yeah, just one mistake like that set them back that far.
I agree.
Yeah. I thought, obviously, he had such an amazing year already, but JSN absolutely went to town this game, 153 yards and a touchdown, and was not just stats-wise, but this man was making some insane catches.
Did you see that
one-handed catch?
Nuts.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive he was just showing off there.
Don't sleep on Ken now. He had a game.
Telling you, dude.
Ken Walker did have a game. I know me and CJ were definitely upset about that, and I've voiced this all season. I voiced it to my Seattle friend while the game was happening. It just sucks to see this because where was this during the season?
He was sharing the workload.
Saving it for the now.
He clearly is potentially.
He could be a top 5 running back, and it just drives me nuts.
I don't want to believe it either, Raymond.
Like, he's going to resign.
They have.
You don't want him to resign?
No, I want him to get like a different offense.
You don't want to see him in Miami?
No, we got a better one. But, Kansas City?
Kansas City, they could use him.
Yeah, he would thrive.
That's a great pool. Kansas City could use him.
I mean, that's kind of like what Baltimore tried to do. Essentially, with signing Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
like it kind of worked.
I would say it was successful.
I think it did work for sure. Obviously, they, it hasn't put them over the top, but it definitely shored up that position for them where before it was J.K. Dobbins and Justice Hill, and
don't forget
I feel
about
like there was another
Ray
one.
Rice. Is that his name?
Yeah, but that was so long ago. That
2012, dog.
Yeah,
Listen,
that was so long.
Can't talk about a Baltimore running back without bringing him up. The ghost of the past. The Rams, though, to Matthew Stafford's point, I don't think Stafford made any like huge mistakes in the game. I just think Seattle was the better team. The one pass Stafford had, it was to Devontae, and it was like in the smallest window I've ever seen. It was like kind of like a slant route almost. Bro, I didn't know he had that much mustard on the ball these days. He got it to Devontae, and Devontae then ran it for like 15 yards. Dude, it was incredible. Stafford put the ball on the money like he does every other time. I thought the running backs did well. I just think Seattle's a monster of a team. I don't think the Rams lost the game per se.
That was the Super Bowl in my opinion. Like, the Rams are the second best team in the NFL.
Yeah,
I truly agree with that as well. And I hate to put blame on anybody on the Rams, but it's truly just because the defense could not get a stop against that Seattle offense.
Yeah, they don't. They have a poor secondary. Their D line is fine, but their secondary sucks.
What's scary is they have 2 first-round picks this year.
Oh,
so they could shore that up really easy. They could go get Caleb Downs.
That would be disgusting.
And I think if they can get some kind of help in the secondary, their defense immediately becomes one of the top 5 defenses.
100%. Especially because they're not losing any of the coordinators, so they're bring the whole team back.
Yeah. So overall, what we're saying is that the Rams didn't choke this game. No. Seattle just took it away from them.
Nah.
I did want to say right before halftime, Seattle went 74 yards in 34 seconds. By the way, it was absolutely insane to watch them work down the field that quick.
They're just a machine.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's talk about some of these new coaches. We talked a little bit about it last week, but we focused more on one than the rest. Let's get back to this Saleh saga that y'all were talking about.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. So we have Saleh as the new head coach in Tennessee, but also they look to be bringing in Brian Daboll from reports as offensive coordinator. What do we think about that?
Cam Ward DP.
Yeah, I think, again, I just brought it up, but then I think this decision and this hire brings them back now to modern day competition. Where they should be. Modern day competition inside that division.
Who's the head coach?
Say that again.
Who's the head coach?
Robert Saleh.
That was his biggest struggle in New York. Is for one, they're just a terrible organization, but for two, he never had a good offense,
Right.
And got a star quarterback now. He's got really no weapons, but
He can. That's way easier to fix than
Yeah.
the quarterback situation.
definitely.
And do they have a good pick this year?
They have 5. So I think they're
So-
going to draft Francis Mauigoa from Miami. And
That's not biased at all.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, Cam Moore went
Zero.
to Miami, so I feel like he's going to be like petitioning for them to make that pick because he's like a Penei Sewell level talent. So why wouldn't you want him?
Yeah, and again, take this with a grain of salt with Tennessee's offense this year, but every time I watched Cam Ward get the ball, he had maybe like a quarter of a second to even think about making a decision. So if they can beef up the offense, the offensive line, and then get a receiver,
They need
dangerous.
like a Wan'Dale Robinson. He's a free agent. They've got 2 solid tight ends. They've got 2 okay running backs, and just need like an alpha.
That's what I was going to say. Do you expect them more to try to attack the wide receiver position in free agency?
I would hope so. I don't really see anybody being worth a top 5 pick this year personally, but
I concur. I think they go like the Lions route or I guess the Cowboys route. They draft the big guys and then sign anybody else that they can.
what if they go
Is-
the Lions route and draft Jeremiah Love?
Mm.
That would be crazy.
That would be nuts. Who's the guy out of Ohio State? Is there a receiver coming out of Ohio State this year?
Carnell
is.
Tate.
Carnell Tate?
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok earlier about somebody saying that he's like the next Julio Jones level talent in the NFL. Do
So
y'all
you're
agree with
thinking
that?
of Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, that'll
He's
be
not
next year.
until next year.
Ah,
But yes,
he was acting as if he was coming out this year. Maybe he would.
Oh.
Maybe he was saying if he came out this year, he would be a top 5 pick.
he'd be the number 1 overall pick.
He'd be
this year.
done.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, maybe that's what it was. That had me thinking. I was like, maybe they could go after somebody like that. But if it's not him, then
Nah, his running mate though, Carnell Tate's pretty solid. I wouldn't draft him 5, but I'd probably draft him like 12 to 15. So maybe
Okay.
they trade back.
Yeah.
absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see with them bringing in Saleh if they decide to protect Cam Ward or go to the defensive side of the ball.
The defensive line, they have Jeffrey Simmons.
I was going to ask if they have a good defense in general.
I don't know anybody outside of that, but Tennessee's used to be known for their linebackers and D line. So I imagine with Saleh being in Tennessee, it's going to be easy for him to build up a defense.
Even the
really.
Jets defenses were insane, like when he was there. So I think they probably lean offense more in the draft just because that's not his area of expertise. And he can really just turn around like a defense with a bunch of randos.
Right. Whether it be free agency or just kind of bringing his culture to the current defense and turning it around that way.
Yeah. They'll probably bring a few people from San Francisco with them, some players.
JD, what do you think about Cam Ward going into next season if he can get a little bit of help around him?
I feel like if he gets more help around him, they would improve their overall production probably by maybe like 40%. I think it kind of is a push because I feel like they tried to do that this past year, bringing in Restrepo, whatever his first name is.
Hey, put some respect on that man's name. Xavier Restrepo.
Where's he? Is he on a practice squad still?
Probably. Leading receiver in Miami University. I was hoping he was going to be so much better than he is.
No, I was like, oh, that's a great signing. Like he's going to get a little bit of help because, his big thing was look at the tape, watch the tape, and you can't even get on the field. So my whole thing was like, okay, if you give him help, if you give Cam Ward help, he severely improves the ability, but then it still doesn't answer the question of like, can your defense get you on the field? And I think that's where it's kind of like, well, what net gain do you get when you go both? Because like, yeah, you can probably wait and get a better wide receiver coming out, but if you have great evaluators, you have nothing to really worry about, regardless of a generational talented type of player.
He had Alec Iomanner looking serviceable.
Yeah, and at the end of the year, another one of the other receivers could tell you who it was.
DK.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah, big Florida wide receiver.
Yeah, there you go.
So I mean, he's making these guys look good. Imagine if he actually
DK was good.
Okay.
DK was head and shoulders above Restrepo.
That's fair. That's a
In
fair
college,
statement.
disagree. In the NFL, I agree.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. But imagine if he actually has
And they've got
someone
2 solid tight
throw
ends
to.
like
Yeah.
Chig
Like they have enough
Okonkwo and
playmakers to
Gunnar
do it.
Helm.
It's just like, does a defensive player bring you that much closer to your end goal of more wins? And I don't know. I don't know enough about specifically the defensive side of the ball, because when you do have Cam Ward and you can get guys open, it's like their production at a 7 brings it up to like an 8 or a 9. And then if you get somebody who's an 8, you can bring them up to a 10. It's like, does that gain actually get you where you need to be?
Right.
I don't know.
Imagine if they had a solid head coach like Mike Vrabel. Freaking franchise. I used to like the Titans, but I really don't anymore.
Well, I kind of agree with you, Raymond, on taking a pass blocker so that Cam Ward gets a little bit of extra time back there. But let's take it down to your division here. How do you feel about the Dolphins' new coach?
Couldn't tell you. like I don't care anymore. Like honestly.
So let me ask you a question, Raymond. So you see the Dolphins make this move, and then obviously, as we know now, the Bills fire their head coach, and now they've just announced that Joe Brady's taking over as the head coach. There's some debate whether the Jags OC should have been the head coach or what have you, but they landed on Joe Brady. In division, you now have Vrabel, you now have Joe Brady, and then the Jets are irrelevant. Comparing to everybody that was available for head coaching this year, do you think the Dolphins had made the right move, or was it just collateral damage because of the GM you hired?
Pretty much, yeah. I think it's just same as it was 10 years ago. Patriots are good. Bills, Dolphins, and Jets are now sucky. Bills covered it up with a serviceable quarterback there for a while, but they could never get over the hump. I would have much rather had Sean McDermott than our head coach. I would have much rather had Grant Udinski as our head coach. The other two didn't seem too interested in us. I know Harbaugh was set on the Giants, and Stefanski got hired up real quick. Who would want to be in Miami, honestly? We have nothing at the moment.
I feel like y'all have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball.
We've got Devon A-Chain.
I mean, I still think Jalen Waddle is plenty talented. Maybe not serviceable because of his injuries, but I still think he's very, very talented.
Brother, maybe as a wide receiver too.
Well, that's what he was supposed to be, right? With Reek on the other side of it, but
well, he was drafted top 10, so right after Justin Jefferson. No, not Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase. I'm sorry, Jamar Chase.
I feel like there is so much anger on your side.
Yes, we should have had Penei Sewell. Yeah. Like so many other picks. Like he's a wasted pick. He's going to be off the roster in a couple of years by the time we're even relevant, if we're ever even relevant again.
So how long do you give the head coach? 2 years, 3 years?
I could honestly see it being like one of those head coaches that gets hired and fired the next year.
One and done.
He was at Boston College. I think he went 2-10. The head coach of Boston College, and he went 2-10. That might not be the exact record, but something similar. He got fired from that.
I was wondering where he came from.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Packers, who obviously, outside of Micah Parsons, the defense sucked.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. But hey, maybe it's not for me to understand. Like,
so you already said like your piece a little bit on the Bills, but do you think that Joe Brady is better than who y'all got?
No, I think it's about the same.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Joe Brady.
I'm a big fan of Joe Brady.
Yeah, I think he got carried by Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Thaddeus Moss, and whoever that other Terrence Marshall.
What were you saying, JD?
Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Joe Brady. I was hoping Florida was going to hire Joe Brady because I think him as a play caller, like I feel like, and I'm not in y'all's division like you are, but it's like I feel like Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator with Josh Allen, he felt so much more elite than a lot of other players or a lot of other coordinators with their players. So I think it's, with what's available, 100% the best available option, but I don't think it's like a downgrade by any means.
I wanted the Saints to hire Joe Brady so bad.
Oh my gosh, me too. I feel like what Kellen Moore is doing is almost exactly what Joe Brady would have done. Like if you said, oh, that's a Joe Brady offense and like a Joe Brady scheme, I'm like, yeah, it sounds about right. Like he's effectively able to do something.
Yeah, 100%. I think with Joe Brady having full reins, I think the offense in Buffalo will take the next step. We'll see. I think he's competent enough to know the talent he has and the talent he needs. Now, apparently, this owner may or may not be more involved than we actually know of. And the GM is getting bailed out with excuses. So we'll see. But I think if it's up to Joe Brady, I think he'll run. I think they'll finish second in the division.
Hard to do.
Well, you know.
Well, let's move on to a different division so that we can stop torturing Raymond now. Jesse Minter to the Ravens. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think this takes the Ravens to the next level? Do you think they kind of just stay the same as where they were with Harbaugh?
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I still know who this guy is. Raymond, inform us where he came from.
DC for the Chargers,
Mhm.
who went from like a bottom 5 defense to like a top 5 defense in the span
Yeah.
like of 1 year with the same pieces. So he's
Sure.
obviously talented.
And the Ravens defense is historically good.
Oh yeah, they're always drafting like BPA at defense. Somehow they're always walking away with the best defensive player on the board at the pick 20.
It does feel like that.
Like they got Kyle
I've
Hamilton.
thought that for the past couple of years.
I could 100% see this. I mean, obviously they pick a little bit higher, but Caleb Downs falling to them somehow.
Oh, dude,
And snatching him up.
That would be disgusting. I don't know if it's an upgrade. I do think it was time to switch it up. I think I really don't have an opinion on this one. I think the clean slate's needed. And to Raymond's point with him being a defensive guru and Baltimore having the pieces already, I think it probably does take Baltimore to that next step. I could see them winning the division. Again, it's probably not that hard at this point, but I do think they probably make it a playoff appearance next year. I do think it was a good hire.
Yeah.
Sure,
I
yeah.
think their offense is good enough to keep them in most games, and especially
Yeah.
that defense, it takes the next step.
Yeah.
Do we know who the offensive coordinator is there?
It doesn't. Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter.
Lamar Jackson's the offensive coordinator. I like it. JD, do you have anything to say about Minter to the Ravens at all?
No, because I don't know who he is.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, let's talk about somebody everyone might know here, which staying in that same division. Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. How are we feeling about that, boys?
Take it away, Raymond. Yep. Same.
Same
Literally
coach, different
same.
font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I definitely don't think it's an
Strong
upgrade.
Arthur Smith vibes.
Like if you put a blind resume on McCarthy, Mike Tomlin, and John Harbaugh, you get the same coach.
I think they had basically the same win percentage.
All carried by like a Hall of Fame quarterback. Joe Flacco is a little debatable, but whatever.
Sure, we get the
But
point.
like to one Super Bowl. Other than that, they're usually one and done in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is his first trip in the AFC, so maybe it works out, especially if we can bring back A-Rod.
This is a little bit of a difference for the Steelers, though, right? Because McCarthy's more of a offensive-minded coach, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like a quarterback guru, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
So I'm really hoping he can to rub off on Will Howard a little bit, give me some dynasty value. But
I still really like Will Howard's value. I don't think it's a quarterback issue. Obviously, yes, it is a quarterback issue currently. But if he could develop him to be, decent, it's not the worst position for him to take over, especially if he can develop him if A-Rod comes back. I mean, I think they missed playoffs. I think they're,
about the same as this year, probably.
Yeah,
Same as
6
they've been
wins,
the past
7
10
wins.
years.
I think he'll have a losing record this first year.
Oh, that's not
I'd be
acceptable.
Right. I'd be shocked if they're 9-8 or whatever it is these days, like Mike Tomlin's been for 20 years. I don't think it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really have a choice, right?
Same thing as the Ravens. Just shake it up a little bit, see what happens.
Yeah.
But I feel like for what's been available and what was available, I don't think Mike McCarthy was the best option, but maybe nobody wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Who
That's what I
knows?
was thinking.
I mean, they don't have. I mean, it's not like Tennessee or the Giants where you have a bright young quarterback. I mean, it's not a great job to take over.
I'll say I like it more than most people. I like Mike McCarthy, but it's not like groundbreaking.
I feel at one point he was like the the coach to be hired, and then he went to
It
Dallas.
was. I didn't think he should have
Hey,
been fired in Dallas.
He had Dak playing like an MVP. So
We'll
I mean,
see.
I agree with you, but I feel like it was in Dallas when he like fell off the
Correct.
coach everybody wanted. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what Dallas will do for you.
And JD, you looked like you had the same face as what Raymond's noise was making whenever we started talking about Mike McCarthy. But do you got any thoughts on Mike McCarthy to the Steelers?
I feel like Mike McCarthy is disproportionately good and disproportionately good on his resume because, like, I thought when he went into Dallas, he was going to, be like the next thing since sliced bread with Dak Prescott. And
Yeah,
then
me too.
he flops super, super hard. So then to see him go into Pittsburgh, I'm like, okay, well, even if you're working with Aaron Rodgers, like, it's not a better version than Mike Tomlin. And I just feel like I guess I should say he's a disproportionately bad coach relative to his resume. Like, that's how I feel about him. So it's like, it wasn't like a home run hire. Maybe they got Mike McCarthy on a massive discount. I don't know. But it's also like Pittsburgh is also not an organization where like they're just going to run through coaches like Cleveland is.
Right. So
fair.
you already have a feeling that Mike McCarthy is going to be there for probably a minimum of 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Just because that's how the organization's been. And then it's like, hey, maybe you ride Aaron Rodgers for one more year and you get a stud backup. Well, they have Will Howard, so I mean they got someone really solid. You're muted.
sorry, I was muted it so you didn't hear my typing. I googled it. Tomlin has a .62 win percentage. McCarthy has a .60.
Same coach. Yeah.
Same coach. Tomlin has one more year on McCarthy.
Yeah. So
Who has a better playoff resume?
I don't have that.
Get to Googling.
Get to
I
Googling.
imagine if I had to guess, I would. It depends on what you're asking because I think Tomlin has probably made it more, so therefore he probably has more losses.
Right.
I think McCarthy may have been more because in
Really?
those Green Bay years, I mean, they didn't have any competition.
That's true. Yeah, they did go every year, but I mean, Mike Tomlin's lost. He's 0-7 in the most recent playoffs, so who knows? But
Which, by the way, we kept bringing up the fact that the Steelers organization keeps head coaches around for a while. I think that's how organizations should play it. I don't
Sure.
think that organization should be getting rid of. We famously brought
Yes,
up
sir.
the Raiders. Go ahead, Raymond.
I got it. It's Google AI, so don't quote me. Mike Tomlin's 8-12 in the playoffs. Mike McCarthy 11-11.
Oh,
all right, great hire.
so it's almost kind of
Great.
like, hey, is that really a net positive? I mean,
Yeah, right. I still don't think so. That didn't.
wait,
didn't help
Mike
the
had
case.
Mike McCarthy. He was with Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, in Green Bay.
Oh, so it's like a
Beat
homecoming.
Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl in 2011.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
do we believe Aaron Rodgers really has another year in him?
Well, I don't
I think
it's
so now.
I think he's got another year in him with Mike McCarthy, but that's
Yeah.
why it's like, okay, there's obviously going to be a transition period from where they are to where they're going, and I think Aaron knows that.
I can't have y'all getting me hyped up for DK. Okay.
No,
I was
nobody
burned-
said that.
Yeah, but like if Mike
Don't do it.
McCarthy
Don't
is
fall
going to
into
make Aaron Rodgers good again,
No, he's there
that
to
means
develop the
DK
young
has to be
quarterback.
good, right?
No, don't fall into it. Don't. It's a trap. You're gonna hear it come August. Don't do it. I'm warning you
Dude.
now.
I know I was burned so bad by him this year. I thought he was going to be
Who's he bringing
incredible.
in as OC? I would trust him because it's not Arthur Smith. I hate Arthur Smith.
Yeah, he's going to
one of the
Ohio State.
Yeah.
I've seen them making memes about Jonnu Smith gonna be trying to go back to Ohio State. He just follows him everywhere.
I don't know. I don't think he's announced who's going to be the OC. But I mean, talking about upgrade, it's got to be an upgrade from Arthur Smith.
Well, that's why I would be a little bit higher on DK, like especially if they
Sure.
don't bring anybody in, because it's just like you have to assume they're going to be better. I mean, it's not like Pittsburgh was that bad, but it's like I genuinely think Arthur Smith is that bad. That's why I'm
agree
like,
with you.
okay, like you can't say like because DK he obviously has it in him, like he can do it.
I believe so too.
And Aaron Rodgers can get him the ball. They have a good enough running back game. So it's like if you scheme up the right offense with Aaron Rodgers' mind, I kind of think it potentially could be a no-brainer, and I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in somebody that Aaron Rodgers really loves,
I
because I
agree
don't
with
think
you.
I don't know what Rodgers to Arthur Smith relationship was, but I thought he got hired before they brought in um
Yeah, because Rodgers
Aaron.
signed late. I
Yeah,
think
that's what I
Arthur
thought.
Smith was already in place. I agree, that's always been seemed to be the case with Aaron Rodgers. He seems to have a lot of influence, or he has a fit if it's not the Aaron Rodgers way.
Yeah, I can see that too. But all right, let's move on. I think we touched on it a little last week, but just to bring it up again, Mike McDaniel to the Chargers. That's the last little coaching position that's been filled. I personally think this is a phenomenal move. I think Mike McDaniel is going to be better as an offensive coordinator than he is as a head coach. Not to say he was a terrible head coach by any means, but I think he's such a talented offensive mind that his time is better spent just worrying about the offense alone.
Hey, we'll finally get the answer to what could he do with Justin Herbert.
For a second there, I thought he was going to be the Cleveland head coach, but I saw he withdrew his name from
Apparently, they're wanting
competition.
teams to do or coaches to do homework or something.
I heard that too, but I haven't seen reports of it.
Franchises. We'll talk about them next.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
McDaniel though, I saw an interview earlier where a reporter asked him a question and then he perked up real quick, made a complete sentence and said, "I think that's a question for the head coach." So it seems like he's already enjoying the
Mike
lack of
McCarthy.
pressure. I agree. I think
Miss him.
whether it's the Chargers or not, I think he's probably better as an OC than a head coach.
He's going to be a head coach again one day.
Yeah,
and it's going to
100%.
be crazy.
Yeah, for sure. You give him again a young, great quarterback with maybe a more complete team, or maybe give him full control over the team he actually builds. I
He
think it's
had
disgusting.
Tua in MVP conversation.
Yeah, and I think that was his biggest downfall, truthfully, was his loyalty to Tua. I think that's why it was so important for him to leave Miami as well and move on to just be an offensive coordinator somewhere so that he could kind of separate himself from Tua, because I feel like if he had a chance right now, he'd bring Tua with him.
And
I don't know if he'd do that.
Well,
I
not
don't
to
think
the
he's that
Chargers.
stupid.
Not to the Chargers, but like if he took the Browns job, you don't think that he would have wanted Tua over Shador?
You mean the Pro Bowl quarterback? Yes, I would rather have Shador.
no, you're an idiot.
I know you
No,
would.
I'd
I'm
much
not.
rather have Shador than Tua.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
We gotta go.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I
What are
like
you
Shador.
saying?
I just
don't
think
know
that
what
Mike
he's saying.
McDaniel has such an attachment to Tua.
I think he planted his flag on Tua and it burned him. And
Yeah.
I think now, obviously he might like Tua the person, but I don't think he's going to ever do that again.
I also think though, unfortunately, where he lands, he will now never be able to separate himself from Tua, because if he does do well with Justin Herbert, he's always going to be linked to Tua and how they made the mistake of drafting Tua and how they'd be in the
Well, he
Dolphins
doesn't have say
organization.
so now.
It wasn't his fault drafting Tua. That was Brian Flores and Chris Greer. It was
Well,
Chris
I mean,
Greer, honestly. Brian
Yeah,
Flores
yeah,
wanted Herbert.
Sure, but he was still linked to Tua. He took over, Tua's second year, I think it was. So their second year, but they're always going to be linked together. And how he couldn't develop one, but they can magically develop the other. So I think he's going to be married to Tua for the rest of his career, unfortunately.
To be fair with that statement, I think he did technically develop Tua. I just don't think that Tua has much more of an output than what we saw from him.
He would have if he didn't have that many concussions.
No, I
Yeah.
think, that too. But I think what changed McDaniel in Miami, I think it was them going to get Tyreek. I think he was just fine. I think he had that offense, not playing like Super Bowl caliber, and then you bring in the personality of Tyreek. Of course, it's going to work as soon as he gets there, right? We talked about it's a new shiny toy. It's exciting to see what he can do with the offense, but had they maybe went after somebody else or maybe drafted someone else, I think we'd be having a different conversation.
I think he'll have Herbert playing at a Pro Bowl level this year, and then next year, whoever's got like a because next year's quarterback class is going to be loaded. Whoever's looking
And then he's
for
going to get a head coaching job.
yeah,
100%.
whoever's looking for a head coach and a quarterback next year, probably the Dolphins, is going to hire him. We're not hiring him again. Obviously, he wouldn't come back probably, but we should.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Major upgrade for the Chargers, though. Major
yeah.
upgrade.
Yes, I agree. Well, last little coach news. We have 3 jobs left vacant right now. It's the Raiders, the Browns, and the Cardinals. Who do you think gets filled first?
No,
Raiders.
none of them, bro. Their franchises are toast, dude. Like,
I agree with you, JD. I think it is the Raiders. I just think
They
they
have the
have
first overall pick. How
Yeah,
can you
they
not?
they have the
most
most
hope.
desirable position right now.
but how have you not already, to that point, how have you not already found your next head coach? Like, I get it. It's Vegas. The franchise is like terrible. But if you're the Raiders organization, how have you not sought out and already had a plan in place after all these coaches are stacked up? Like, certainly they've wanted at least one of these coaches that have gotten hired, right? I don't even know who they've
Sure,
interviewed.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they've interviewed anyone.
Yeah, I've not heard word, but the Raiders job will be filled first. The Browns job will be filled last. But the Raiders got to give the coach more than 1 year. It's just a failing franchise at this point. Like, you've
This
got the
might
first
be
you got
a
the first overall pick. I'd trade Max Crosby, get another first round pick. Like, you got to, obviously everybody wants him to be a Raider, but you got to clean house, bring in your people, hopefully have enough time to survive the first 2 years of sucking, and then maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel.
This might be a little controversial, but they need to go back to Oakland.
They need to bring back John Gruden.
Yeah, seriously.
I think he's just sitting in a little glass case, break in case of emergency, like in case they can't get anybody.
I mean,
That's
the Chucky doll may work. I mean, I don't know who's going to accept the job. Like, you're obviously probably going to get a coordinator, a lower, maybe you're going to settle for somebody, I feel like, at this point. But I don't
think
know.
if there's a better quarterback in the draft that they could pick, that somebody would have accepted it by now.
Probably. You mean to tell me the Raiders had the first pick next year? I think that spot's already filled. Yeah, 100%.
Like, Fernando Mendoza, obviously number 1 overall pick, whatever. But like, he's not like franchise changing, I feel like.
We know what's coming next year. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, sure, he is obviously good, potentially great, but he's being overlooked and overshadowed by the class next year, which is not fair. But you just have no upside of the Oakland job, the Raiders job at the moment.
Right, and unfortunately, I think even if Fernando goes number 1, I think he has to be tied to a great coach in order to be like his
100%.
His peak self. I truly, like, a lot of people talk about system quarterbacks. I think he's a system.
Indiana, the Hoosiers run a very great system for him to thrive in. Yeah, 100%. And at this point, I'm paying Sig whatever he wants.
So, I guess best case scenario, Rams trade the 2-1 this year and 1 next year, go up number 1, get him. He sits behind Stafford for a year.
That would be incredible.
There you go.
Yeah,
Then it'd be replaced. I mean, yeah. Then they're not even losing anything.
He's basically
retires.
Jared Goff. We've already seen that.
Yeah.
I think he could be better than Jared Goff.
Who?
Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, I was making sure you're talking about the same guy.
It's just the Hispanic joke, Jared Goff.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
like. Do you think Fernando is good enough to win a Super Bowl
with the right system and coach? Yes,
I agree with the right system in
he
place, and his defense will win the
like that in college. So
I think if he goes to the right team if the Raiders can build up the defense, I think he's
good enough. You know who is
enough.
also a system quarterback? Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the right system, and he thrives.
I thought that too for the longest time. And that man went down to Tampa and did it again.
Yeah, but he was with Bruce Arians, who had a phenomenal.
That's my
system.
point. Is like he was in the right system.
But
yeah,
Carson
so
Palmer
it's like
couldn't do
if
it.
you put Fernando in the right system, why could he not do what Tom Brady did? No one's saying Tom Brady was like no door knocker his first couple years out.
So
Or Peyton
talent-wise, I
Manning.
think he could. I've already compared him to Peyton Manning, but I just don't think he has that personality. Like, Tom Brady's going to go over there and cuss you out if you're not running the right route. Every other quarterback is. Like, he's just going to be like, it's okay, buddy. We'll get him next time. like he doesn't have that dog in him.
Well, people said the same exact thing about Tony Dungy. You don't yell at your players. You don't get on your players, and look what he did. It's like
that's fair.
When you
That's
fit
solid.
a player to the right organization, why can't you get that same result?
Yeah,
maybe. But then you're going to have Max Crosby in there bullying that boy his first day.
Literally.
I mean, I think that's where it's like, okay, well, if you have like two of the same type of alpha males in the room, sometimes it can be too much. But like when you have two different types of alpha males, like Fernando and like Max, like I don't see why they can't coexist. I think it's just, that's my opinion. I just don't, I'm one to say like, I have no reason to really knock him until he disproves me.
Correct.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
I agree. And also, I think that there may be a different side of him that we don't see, like on the field, in the locker room. I think he's so well PR trained that, of course, he seems like the nicest person in the world.
But what is he doing on the field in the huddle?
Right. You have to have a little bit of a dog in you to just like fuck up a fourth down play and still run it in for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
I've been convinced. I just to refresh my memory, I just went and Googled the past 20 quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl. If Jalen Hurts can do it, he can do it.
Come on, brother. All right, let's move on. Who's next?
Okay.
Jesus.
Next little, just a little
That's a
topic.
system quarterback.
It
is. We've talked about
Not
it.
a bad thing.
We talked about it a little bit. But CJ, it seems like you have a lot of opinions on this. Shador going to the Pro Bowl. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, dude. First off, the Browns still need a head coach. They're making their interviewees. They're doing too much. Just hire somebody. You've to that point, you do have a Pro Bowl quarterback. Unfortunately, I know he's a replacement, but at this point, I think the Pro Bowl's a joke. You know who the replacement in the NFC was for the quarterback? Jared Goff. So, like, you mean to tell me there's no better AFC quarterback than Shador to make the Pro Bowl? And I'm not hating on Shador. I think he had a very unfair year in Cleveland. It's just, brother, he's not a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I feel like I agree with you. I don't think he deserves to be in the Pro Bowl necessarily from like a numbers standpoint, but maybe the other people they called up just declined to go into the Pro Bowl.
I just think it sets a bad example moving forward of a Pro Bowl. I think it diminishes what it means to be a Pro Bowl player. Like when I think of Pro Bowl athletes, I think, people that have made, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pro Bowls, and they actually are good. Now we have Shador making the Pro Bowl once.
Now you got to look at all pros instead.
Yeah, then I think it just diminishes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I still think Shador had a very unfair year, so that's not me knocking him. He's not a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, it means that he shouldn't have been in the Pro Bowl this year.
Correct.
Not to say he can't be a Pro Bowl quarterback going forward, but it just feels like it was kind of gifted this one.
Sure. And then to that point of the franchise, obviously it's Cleveland and you have no hope, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to take that job with a Pro Bowl quarterback. Same thing in Arizona. You've got Kyler. So, I don't know what these franchises are doing.
Right. Well, guys, what do we think about the MVP? It's finally here. We need to. A decision will be made soon.
Sunday, I think.
What?
I think it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Who are we thinking? It's obviously between Stafford and Maye.
Well, they're going to say it's Drake Maye. I think it'll be Drake.
So, Raymond, correct me if I'm wrong here. For the MVP, they don't count the playoffs, correct?
I don't believe so.
So but how does that not sway your decision?
I feel like it has to sway.
It has to. Yeah, because if we're talking regular season, I think it's a lot harder of a conversation than what's happened in the playoffs.
So riddle me this though: do y'all think Drake Maye's had a better playoff games than Stafford? Obviously, he's won one more.
No, I think Stafford's had a better playoff.
But I feel like it's
which would sway my vote overall if we're counting playoffs.
Yeah, no, but I still think that the winning is what sways people vote. So the fact that Drake Maye got to the Super Bowl, I feel like is going to make people think that he deserves it more. I personally think that Matt Stafford deserves it. I think he had the best year of his career. people wanted to use it against him earlier in the or closer to the end of the season, like this was expected from Matt Stafford, but it wasn't. This is truly his best season of all time.
Okay, the votes are counted after week 18, so they're just not announced.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
already
No.
determined.
Yes.
Should be determined
Oh.
already. Okay, should be
Should.
determined already.
Okay. Sure.
Okay,
So
good. So
to the
Stafford
question
it
at
is.
hand,
I think it's going to be
I think it's
Stafford.
Drake May.
I think it's 50-50. I think it's a coin toss, honestly, but I think with Stafford's age and he might not play a couple more years, like they're probably just going to default to him thinking, oh, Drake May could win one in the future.
Yeah, I think it's Drake May.
So is it 2-2 right now? Me and Raymond on Stafford and you two on May?
No, I think it's Matt Stafford.
Okay, good.
I'll stand on the island
The only
alone.
reason I would have said Drake May is because he made it to the Super Bowl, but knowing that, hey, if you have to look back at, the collective, I feel like when you think about an MVP, I don't know, I guess you could go both ways because it's like Drake May like really carried his team to that point. Like it was
Yeah, right.
He is the reason New England is where they are.
100%.
And then with Matt Stafford, it's just when you look at him, it's like you make no mistakes. Like you are Mr. Automatic. Like you do exactly what you're supposed to do within your offense and you execute at such a high level that like you are the reason you're where they are. So like it's kind of both ways. It's like one guy carries their team to the place. The other guy does his job to get his team to the place. And I just feel like I know their records were basically the same, right?
No, I think Seattle ended up being 11 Seattle. The Rams ended up being 11-6, and
That's right.
the Patriots were 14-3.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
know.
much of a difference.
I don't think it's
one
I don't
plays
think it
in
matters.
a way harder division too.
Yeah, exactly. I do think overall, I think it's a good argument for Drake May to say that without Drake May on the Patriots, they probably weren't winning 3 games, much less 14. And if Stafford wasn't on
you have
the
Jimmy G
Rams,
playing.
what's that?
You'd have Jimmy G playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Stafford wasn't on the Rams, they still win quite a few games.
Brother, I've seen Mike Vrabel carry Ryan Tannehill to a number 1 seed. Just saying.
That was funny.
That's a good argument too.
I couldn't, ditto to what JD said. That was my argument for Drake May. He's carried the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it could go both ways.
Yeah.
I just don't know how the voters vote.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all not throwing the Derrick Henry thing in my face.
You're welcome.
All right. Let us know in the comments who you think that the MVP is going to be. Before we get out of here, let's just talk quick vibes. And yes, what is it, Raymond?
We not going to cover the breaking news?
What breaking news?
The breaking news.
Bill Belichick is not a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
He is not a first-ballot Hall of Fame coach.
How?
I don't know.
That's nuts.
It just came out like a couple hours before we started.
Oh, I didn't even know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely
the
insane.
Hall of Fame means nothing now. What do you mean he's not a first
Apparently,
ballot
like
Hall of Fame
10
coach?
plus voters did not vote for him.
That has to be like pettiness.
Yeah.
Probably
has to
because
be
he hates the
pettiness.
media, but like even then, like, how do you just like? I've hated that man all along. I think he might be the second greatest coach of all time, but he's the second.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
that seems like a fluke.
Well, I think we're all on the same page saying that feels wrong. JD, what do you think?
I think it's very unfair
Speechless.
because his image has been tarnished by what's
Correct.
happened after New England, and
Do you think that's playing into it?
1000%.
I could see that.
Like when I think of Bill Belichick now, it's like I think of like his sleazy girlfriend. I don't think of like what he did with Tom Brady. And it's like
Fair.
you can't tell me people don't think about that first before they think about what he did with Tom Brady.
So looking at his resume, most Super Bowl wins as a head coach, most Super Bowl appearances, most playoff wins, most playoff appearances, most divisional championships, and third all time in wins.
So
Yeah,
how's
like-
that not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach?
Feels like
Because
that
of his
first
little
ballot.
girlfriend. That goes to show, in my opinion,
Yeah.
how social image and social media and perception of an individual can
Means
severely
everything.
tarnish literally everything. And it's like people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not judging you based off that. It's like, you can say that, but you know sure as hell they don't mean that.
Right, and it's becoming more and more prevalent in the day of social media because
Well, and
everybody
it's not
lives on
helping
it.
his case. It's not helping his case because he looks bad at the same time. You know, it's one thing if it was like, oh, like he's over there and he's not in the media, but the fact that you see it, he's the head coach at UNC. Like, if that guy had never coached ever again and he still had his 24-year-old girlfriend, he probably would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you think that?
I agree
No,
with
I
you.
If he
agree
wasn't
with
in the
you, yeah.
news, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we think if he would have retired after Brady left, if he'd be first ballot? But to JD's point, I think it's because he came back to coach. Even the year or two after Tom Brady, with him not having a winning season per se, I think he's still, I still think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, those felt like fluke years anyways.
but you're right. I think it's the relevancy of what he's currently doing, even though it has nothing to do with NFL, right?
Nothing. Yeah.
You know, so that's crazy.
Just a
It's-
couple
yeah,
guys
it's so
on that
wild.
voting committee like us, just voting out of spite.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
I'd
It's
like
like
to know
because they
who they
know if
were.
they vote him as first ballot and he gets to the Hall of Fame, like no one's gonna be like genuinely happy for him.
Yeah.
Like you think first ballot Hall of Famer, you think of someone like Drew Brees, you're like, yeah, you deserve that.
So if he's not first ballot Hall of Fame, is Tom Brady first ballot Hall of Fame?
Tom Brady's already in that Hall of Fame. I don't even care. Like,
I mean,
He has to be.
Listen,
why wouldn't he be?
he's still in media. I guess it's nothing but
He
positive.
doesn't have anything bad.
Yes.
Other than
they
he
got a
got a
divorce
divorce,
and his wife got knocked up by his trainer, like by
Yeah,
a
but
yoga
hey,
teacher.
It
There's
would have
still,
been
like, no
different if
negative.
it would have been different if like he started dating his nanny.
Well,
That's when you're like, okay,
Yeah.
now,
Alex
now
Earl
it's
just
a
may be the
little-
next best thing.
even then, Ray Lewis is in there. Like,
Yeah, that's fair. He killed somebody.
Yeah.
he's in the Hall of Fame.
There's a
That's
lot of,
fair.
back in the day, they used to do some crazy things.
Yeah, that's
All
just
right.
wild to me. Good job, Raymond.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Raymond. Before we get out of here, though, let's just get quick vibes. We can cover what we really think about the Super Bowl next week, but just real quick, who do you think is going to win? Just give me a guess on who you think is going to win this.
Next week?
Yeah, well, we'll have another episode before the Super Bowl
Oh,
actually
yeah, I
happens.
guess technically
2
it's
weeks.
next.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just a quick little Raymond, quit smiling like that. Who do you think?
Go ahead, Raymond.
Go ahead. We know who you're gonna.
I don't want a drastic breakdown. Give me the winner.
Seahawks by 1 billion.
Okay, JD,
Seattle.
CJ.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I thought it was going to be a clean sweep. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. And then real quick, we can just add a little fun thing in here. What's your like go-to Super Bowl snack?
Whatever Raymond buys
Yeah,
for
whatever
us.
Ravens bring in.
Well, it was a first thing last year, but my wife made some delicious Mexican street corn dip.
Well, that's fire.
You know what I do love actually? Buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, I hate
Oh.
buffalo chicken dip.
Me too. I can't stand
bring
it.
your
love
own.
I love buffalo chicken dip, but I'm more of a
I'll
wing
bring it for me
person.
and Matt.
Yeah, bring it. I'll eat it with you.
Hey,
for
Matt,
sure.
Matt, you got to bring a snack this year. You've brought a snack every year.
That is true.
I have, haven't I? Well,
Yeah.
I think a couple years ago I brought like those bacon crackers, and those
Yeah.
things were
I got
fire.
sick on those.
Dude, they were so good I couldn't stop eating them.
Wait,
All
but
right.
what's your record with bringing the same snack to?
I don't bring
Party.
the same
It's
snack.
been something different every year.
Oh,
Last year he brought John. I think.
oh,
He brought Matthew McConaughey's tuna recipe.
tuna salad
Yeah,
recipe.
that's right. Disgusting, by the way. It's got peas in it.
Nah, it was pretty
Yeah.
good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't think it's as good as TikTok thought it was, but yeah, I'll bring something new this year. We'll make it happen. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for this episode. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, comment if you have anything to say to us, specifically to Raymond for being so stupid all the time. I'll see you guys next week.
Next week it is. Same.
Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast, please follow us on all socials at Not Advised Podcast. Again, this was Not Advised Podcast, the fantasy football podcast based off of vibes and opinions. So if you stay winning off this nonsense we are spitting, we want to split in.